Hi guys, Real Talk with Tracy. What do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about narcissist being a bowl of rotten fruit. I like to think of things in analogies. It helps me explain what I'm thinking. And if you ever go to the grocery store and you're picking out fruit, sometimes you'll pick up a beautiful apple and you'll be like, oh my God, that's so beautiful and delicious. And you pick it up and then all of a sudden on the back side of the apple, you feel something and you turn it around in your hand. And it's like a huge moldy hole that's gaping and oozing stuff. That's what the narcissist is like. On the surface, everything looks really great, really delicious, really wonderful, really incredible. But when you really take a closer look and you go to look from all angles, you'll find that there's a lot of rotten fruit. And that's how I kind of think about it. They're toxic people that will show the shiny, pretty side until you do something that they consider unacceptable, like calling them out on being narcissist. Then you see the ugly side. They may just take the whole bowl of fruit away from you. And they'll just be like gone, which actually is good for you. Because who wants to deal with fake, phony relationships where you can't get the love and support and compassion that you truly need as a human being? If you have people in your life and you know that every time you see them, there's always going to be kind of like a sideways remark. Like I would see my dad. He'd say, like, oh, you lost a little weight? Yeah, keep going. Just something like they bring you up and then boom, they bring you back down. I remember meeting him once for lunch and I was wearing, it was actually by this company that I love. They make these casual clothes and it was kind of a sundress. It was by Fresh Produce, which is funny since we're talking about fruit. Can you believe this? Oh my God, that wasn't planned. Anyway, it was these sundresses. And they were very loose and they weren't revealing or anything like that. They didn't really show your figure that much, but they were comfy and I loved them. And I had like 4 or 5 of them. So I wore this out to lunch and I got home and I think it was a phone call. My father, who's really my biological uncle, okay? He calls me and he says, Tracy, yeah? You know the dress that you were wearing today? Yeah? Burn it. What? Huh? Burn it. You look awful in that dress. Okay, I didn't feel that I needed to look sexy for my uncle/father. I wanted to just be comfortable. And he made it a point of letting me know how bad I looked. And why, if you're listening to this, why do you expect more from them? People are constantly reaching out to me and telling me about their situations and what's happened to them. And a lot of it is on Facebook in different groups, narcissist groups. You let them back in and you think they're going to change because you wish it to be so. But they don't. It's just another opportunity for them to knock you down. And it's really so sad, isn't it, you guys? I feel for you guys. I am no longer in any of these relationships, and I feel free. I can breathe. I can wear a dress that maybe somebody perceives as not cute enough, or maybe I looked a little heavy set in it. But how dare they say things like this, you guys? They just knock you down, and they think it's okay. In my case, my father would say, "Oh, you know how I am." He would just think, it's funny. Poking fun at your daughter, making your daughter feel like a doormat and a piece of crap. He feels that that's funny. He's said some horrible things over the years, and I wanted my whole life to measure up to this man, and I no longer care. Yay! And when I tell you I don't care about measuring up or him being in my good graces, I mean it. He is out of my life and I am free. I am free of waiting for the pendulum to swing and hit me in the face. I am free from having the anxiety of going to see him and anticipating some stupid crap that he's going to say to insult me, to belittle me, to hurt my feelings. I'm free from that, and I'm smiling. I'm free because I cut the cord. It feels wonderful. Think of a heavy boat that's filled with bricks, and the bricks are just crap. It's symbolizing crap that's heavy, and you're holding on to the rope, and the boat is going downstream. And your job has been for years to hold on to that rope until your hands are like burning and hurting, and you're crying. And you're trying so desperately to hold on to that rope because you're trying to save that boat. Again, a bowl of rotten fruit. Why do you need that? You don't need that in your life. You don't need someone to tell you that you're worthwhile. I'll tell you. If you're listening to this video, you are worthwhile. You are. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of compassion. You are a valuable child of God. That's what I believe. And it doesn't matter what your job title is. It doesn't matter how skinny or how fat you are, or how tall you are, or how short you are. If you're a good person in here, that's what matters. How you treat other people with compassion and grace and respect. That's what matters. Being kind. That's what matters. It is so wonderful not to care anymore about if I measure up for someone who doesn't measure up to me, doesn't measure up to my ideal of what a parent should be, doesn't measure up to what a good, loving relationship with a dad should be. And my biological dad either, who left when I was a baby, and then left his second child, and then left his third child, and then left his fourth child, all with different women, because he didn't want the responsibility, never paid child support for the four of us. But he would tell you about how he has so much money in the bank. He would say things like, I have so much money in savings and I've never even had to touch it because my pension's huge. And I have a Mercedes and I have the biggest home in the neighborhood where I live. And I have this and I have that. Now I'm going to get the greatest TV. I'm going to get the latest and greatest this. I'm going to get the latest and greatest that. Me. His whole life has been about himself. And is he giving? Occasionally, you'll get a little snack. Just to take off his guilt, you'll get a little something. Very little. He took me and my husband on a cruise and paid. I thought he loved me. Oh my God. My uncle is awful to me and critical and puts me down, but my biological father, he loves me because he's taking me and my husband on a cruise. But he was never there growing up. I was put up for adoption. He missed my whole life. He never paid child support. He missed my whole life. And yet he was the best looking piece of fruit in the bowl of rotten fruit. And so I wanted so badly for it to work. I wanted so badly to have that wonderful father. And so I tried to push him into being that person. I even said to him once, let's acknowledge each other's birthdays. Like, you don't have to buy me a gift, but let's send each other a card. Let's call each other. Let's remember each other's birthdays. And then his wife tells me that was very annoying to him. What? I'm sorry, what? Oh, you want him to acknowledge your birthday every year? Well, yeah, he missed 18 years of my life. I didn't meet him till I was 18. And I think by the time I told him this, I was in my 40s. And I even said, let's just spend $5 or $10 and get each other a little gift. Because I wanted to do things for him, but I wanted to feel that it was reciprocated. And because I mentioned that, it rubbed him the wrong way. And his wife said, well, he doesn't even remember my birthday. And I said, well, that's really sad. She said he's missing the gene. What gene is that? The gene of how to be a parent? How to be a compassionate, loving human? And yet I kept trying. Until finally once I went over and visited him at a state, and I thought I was having a heart attack, and I went into the emergency hospital, where it took him 7 hours to come see me. And he was 5 minutes away. And he was going to his holiday meetups. He was listing things on eBay. selling his old clothes on eBay that he finds at Goodwill and Salvation Army and things like that. That's his whole focus, buying and selling stuff. But here I am laying in the hospital. I have a migraine. I have 2 ports in my arm, an IV. They're running all these tests. I am really scared. My husband's not with me. And it's the first time in his life that he could really step up and really be there. It took him 7 hours to come see me. And what did he say? What did he say? I was scared. I was scared because I thought I was having a heart attack. And I found out in the next 4 days that I have coronary artery disease. And what did this man say to me? Ugh, some people will go to any lengths for attention. Really? Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to spend over $1,000 to come see you so I could go in the emergency room to get attention. What a freaking ass. And then the next day I'm just crying because I'm realizing the rose-colored glasses come off and I see him. I see him. The man who wants nothing to do with his biological son, who I found 6 years ago, who served in, I want to say the Army or Navy, but it was a very high-ranking unit, who is an entrepreneur, who is gregarious and handsome and funny and lovely and warm and compassionate and everything our father's not. And he wanted nothing to do with seeing his son. And he was frankly mad that I even found him. And I looked at this man differently and I was like, more rotten fruit in the bowl. You cannot make something out of someone, something that's not there. You can't make it. But you guys, I've wished it. I've wished it for so many years because I never felt like I fit in. I just never felt like I fit in. I have this wonderful. I have family on both sides that are Jewish. And every Passover and every Jewish holiday, I'm by myself. I mean, my husband's with me. He's not Jewish. There's not a Seder for me to go to. There's not that happy, warm Jewish family that I've wanted, waiting for me, keeping a place at the table for me. I don't fit because I don't go along with the fakeness and the pretending. And so I don't fit there. When I was at work working for L'Oreal, even though I was winning all the sales awards year after year after year after year, being awarded these international trips where I'd go for free, which was great, I somehow felt like I didn't fit. And why was that? I'm not a drinker. And after all these hair shows, what would people do? They would go to eat and then go to the bar and drink. I'm not a drinker. And then with my husband's family, everyone's Hispanic but me. They all speak Spanish but me. So I've always felt like the odd one out. I've always felt like I'm outside. It's almost like a Hallmark commercial where you're walking, let's say it's snowing and it's Christmas time, and you're looking through the window and you're seeing all these families kissing each other and hugging each other and having all these beautiful parties together. And I'm on the outside, in the cold, looking in, not part of anything. And my husband said to me the other night, "You fit with me." And I said, "Yeah, thank God. For 40 years, I fit with you. And I feel like my husband saved my soul. I'm so lucky to be able to experience that." How did I get so lucky when I've come from such dysfunction? I don't know, but it's a blessing. I'm in my 60s. I miss not having kids. I go to a restaurant and I'll see like a waitress or a waiter that's really nice. And I think to myself, God, I wish I could be their mother. What a beautiful soul. What a beautiful person. I'm not going to have that because I was so afraid. I was so afraid to have kids growing up because I had so much heartache and I was so afraid of passing it on. And we never got pregnant. We didn't try, but it didn't happen. The times we didn't use protection, it didn't happen. And so no grandbabies for me either. It's hard. But what I want to say, if you're listening, is God loves you and you're not alone. And I make these YouTube videos. Why? Cathartic for me. And also I want to be raw and honest with all of you. There's a lot of psychotherapists and counselors and people like that talking about narcissism. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it from their own life experience. I feel like my story needs to be told. And so there's times I'm moved by a dream or something that's happened and I think, yeah, I should share that because there's a lot of people out there that are sad and lonely in the situation where you've been swimming with snakes, narcissists all around. You don't feel safe. You don't feel loved. You feel rejected. You feel outcasted. And you don't need to be. And so my biggest prayer besides peace on earth is that you make connections with other people, that you join a meetup.com group like I did, and you surround yourself with good friends and meet new people who will like you and maybe even love you just for you. I went to lunch today with some women and I got a bunch of hugs on the way in and on the way out. And you know what? It felt really good. They really appreciate me. And I appreciate them. And I tell them how much I appreciate them. So this has been a little bit of a long one. I'm sending love and light your way. And I'm going to ask you, because I'm very close to being monetized, if you can please subscribe, it's free, and share my video with your friends. Sending love your way. Bye.